I am live. Here live in the office in downtown, across the street from the courthouse. Maybe we should go to the courthouse. There's a window right there. And there's people next door, but they're being loud, so I'm gonna still talk. So I'm alone in this room, so it's all good. In my last video, I talked about how his attorney, sorry, I'm zoning out. Howard King, his attorney, the name of his lawyer. He seems like a guy. He knows what he's doing, and I love a good lawyer. Really, I mean, lawyers are very strange people, and sometimes they have to do really messed up stuff. But there's nothing like a good lawyer to make you, look at Brittany. What's happening to her? She finally got a good lawyer. So I do feel good about this guy and about how the case is going. There's no case. You gotta stop calling it a case. There is no case. It has never been a case. Like I always said, anybody can file a restrainer, anybody can go to the court and file something against somebody. Anybody can be framed, and anybody can frame people. There is no case unless I see a case number in a future, like court hearing date. Then my videos will say, "Ooh, the new case." Until then, I'm just going to say they are filings and accusations. That is different than a case. Um, Hold on, I'm closing tabs. And now I like everything open here. Why have it? Alright, anyway. I do not have an editor software. That's how my videos look the way they look. It's not like I don't know how to do it, I just can't do it from my Chromebook for work reasons because everything is being monitored. Yeah. So I can't really just use this computer to edit video and put pictures and put music. That's what I haven't done it. That's what all my videos I'm like I'm here sitting and talking to y'all and just show my face and not be able to show anything else besides sound, which I've been doing that. I've been playing sound of Evan and all the people saying a bunch of nonsense. But for now, it's just gonna have to be this. It's not too bad. Hopefully. So let me see. I'm gonna go to my downloads on my computer. I'm so happy that I didn't delete it. That I actually kept the Chloe Black. That's her name. Okay. Stop calling her Jane Doe. Jane Doe because she ain't a Jane Doe. The reason she used that Jane Doe thing and she didn't say her name is so you will think that she doesn't want any cash. You will think that she has nothing to gain. That's why she used the Jane Doe and not her name, like Esme or Ashley. And I can't believe that some people fall for it. Even people on YouTube and different channels, the channels they don't talk about men's. I'm not talking about the girls and the cool people that talk about men's. And I'm talking about all the channels. All they do is talk about Amber and Johnny. And maybe they have like 2 or 3 men's videos. And when they talk about the case, they keep acting like it's real. Like we have a case and we're going to court. Like Britney Spears has a case, Amber Heard has a case. We don't have a case. So we don't have a case. So let's just stop calling it a case. We don't have one. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna go to, like I said before, don't hate me because of the way the video looks or the video sounds. This is what I can do for what I have right now and what I am right now, which is work. If I do it from my house, it's the same thing because as long as I'm using my Chromebook, I don't have any software to edit video or to add subtitles or to add like pictures and cool stuff. So I'm gonna have to just do it this way. I can show you around a little bit. Let's see what we have here. I show you around. Yeah. Anyway, so the light comes from there. So sorry if it's dark in my face. So like I was saying, I don't have a way to edit and to add music and add subtitles or to cut it because my Chromebook won't do that. And I can't really download the software for work reasons. So we're gonna have to just like do it like this and talk about it. Let me go find. I'm so happy that I didn't delete this. I was going to. It was just junk. I was like, I'm not gonna have this trash in my computer. So I almost deleted her filing, but I'm glad I didn't. I have it. So let's look for it's under it's you'd be surprised. My lists are hilarious and my titles are like it's under more mess and BS. New mess and BS. That's kinda how I name the files. I'm not using bad words, but hey. Um it's kinda sunny. It's about 100 degrees outside. So no thanks. No thanks. Where is the come on girl. I'm just going to hi, wherever you are. I promise I am going to get to what I'm doing. I'm going to have to search for it even if I have it, but I have it under whatever name. Okay, well this is from Friday the 13th. I love that it happened on Friday the 13th. Hey. So electric attorney declines sex assault cases against Marilyn Manson and somebody else. I'm not gonna name that person because I don't know if I want to call it or not, but it's a writer that writes for TV shows. So the Los Angeles County District Attorney office on Friday said decline in number of sexual assaults case brought forth during the Me Too movement last fall and last spring. Shock rocker, hate that they do that. Shock rocker Marilyn Manson, Rob Warner had a police report filed against him in May by Jane Doe, sex crimes. Oh, we're gonna call it sex crime from now on, and not use the R word. Sex crimes. Dating back to 2011, the district attorney declined the case because the statute of limitations had expired and absence of corroboration in proof evidence. According to court filing, there's nothing. Well, her court filing is like, oh yeah, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this, but there's no really no physical evidence of none of that stuff that she said. Manson attorney Howard E. King said Friday in a statement, under current policy, the Los Angeles County District Attorney must investigate any claim of sexual abuse, no matter how outstanding, no matter who the person is. It's not surprising that the district attorney, after investigating, somebody rejected the claims, so they investigated. Somebody rejected the claims. So they're not saying he's innocent. They're rejecting the claims because the LA district attorney, they can't just go and say, "Whoa, this guy's innocent," and then like something is going to come up, and they're going to, shut on their own head. So they're not saying he's innocent. They're not saying he's guilty. They're rejecting some of the claims, and they already tried to dismiss Esme Bianco. Now they're rejecting this guy. I mean, this girl, Jane Doe, Chloe Black. I'm gonna say her name as many times as I want. Them and start hashtagging it because I hate the fact that she filed it as a Jane Doe, thinking that was gonna give her more cred. Like, oh well, she's anonymous. She doesn't want any money. That was a game. That was a trick for her to be anonymous. For you all to think, they all to think that she doesn't want any money. It's a game, like everything. Okay, so what he said was allegations made to the police were categorically denied by Mr. Warner and Howard King, and either completely delusional, of part of a calculated attempt to generate publicity for the claimant business of selling men's memorabilia and the release of her new record because Chloe Black had a record coming out. At the same time that she posted that Instagram accusation, she released the record the same week. I mean, who the fuck does that? What type of victim will do that? I don't know. The police report as part of the investigation was accompanied by the woman's press release. The woman press release for her record. So she pretty much like put everything together. Let's let's release the record. Let's do a press release for the record. Let's post accusations on Instagram. Let's sell some T-shirts too while we're at it. What an idiot! Any claim of sexual imprisonment of that or any other time, any other time is false. They're not saying that all of them are false. They're saying hers is false. But you gotta start somewhere, right? So yeah, that's it. Now I need to find. Bear with me if you're still there, or you can come later. I will make a proper video of this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna find right here. I'm in searching. Like I said, I can't really go crazy in my computer, and haven't. All right. Oh, this is Ashley. Oh no, this is Jane Doe. Oh, cool. Right. Got it. That was fast. It's crazy because if you Google it now and you try to find it now, it's really hard. But I found this 3 months ago. And I made a video about it 3 months ago. So 3 months ago was easier to find. You know what I mean? Now it's harder. I don't get these people. Like I don't understand how they think they're just well, in the 90s everybody almost a lot of people swallow it. The the idea that he was this monster and the shooting happened because of him or whatever. So people believe it in the 90s, people can believe it again. I didn't believe it then and I don't believe it now. And it's not a matter of it's not a matter of liking him or not. Oh God, my head was hurting. Ouch. That's why, because I'm freaking hair. Oof. It's not a matter of liking him or not as a musician, as an artist, as a painter. It's a matter of that it's just freaking wrong. Okay. And what's interesting is back in the 90s we had TV, regular TV or cable TV, but also mostly the news from regular TV. We had all this protests from all this, the Christian people. I'm not hating on everybody who's a Christian. I'm saying there was small groups of people, very close-minded people. Usually they were evangelicals, and every damn state, but mostly, Texas and the southern states, most of anything, and some on the Midwest, some. And they were throwing protests, and they were throwing, they had signs, and they had just like seriously, they treated the guy like he was murdering, eating babies. Okay, so they had all that back then. Now we don't have that. We really don't. I mean, we could have somebody right there in front of the courthouse, doing the whole free brainy thing, which is great. I think it's great. But we don't have like a big protest out there against him because we don't need it, right? Now we have Instagram and Facebook. So we really don't need other mediums to cancel a person. In a way, it's a good way to get the word out when real victims do have something to say, real ones. But in a way, it's a double edged sword because it can work for us victims or not, women and men, for good, putting the word out there, giving resources to other people. It can work for that, but also it can work for bad, like what Amber Heard is doing and what Evan is doing. So you gotta be careful. Like I always say, like if you need help, there's a lot of people you can call. You don't need to deal with the police if you have some type of police phobia. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind the police, but some people don't want to deal with the police. I have to deal with the police on a regular basis. So but I understand that I understand that you might think the police is corrupted, so why not? So you don't want to go to them. But you can go to hospital, you can go to your social worker, you can go to your therapist. If you don't have therapy, you can just go seriously walk, especially in California and New York and all those states. Seriously, you can just walk into mental health clinic and say, hey, this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. They'll help you out. First, they're going to believe you right off the bat because we are trained to do that, and they'll help you out. So then, whatever law, whatever stuff is going to happen after going to file a restraining order or going to file a report at the police station, first thing first is get you out of the crisis of the abuse that is happening, and people will help you out. But none of these women did it. Did that. If they did, is we don't know about it. We don't know about it. They talk about. Don't you think it's funny how they talk about having panic attacks and having depression and having post-traumatic stress disorder, and they're like diagnosing themselves, and they're not saying, well, I went to the doctor from this time to this time and I take this medication. Something you gotta give me something. I'm not gonna just believe it because you're saying it. Besides, there's a lot of reasons that people can have those things I just mentioned. It doesn't have to be on him. There's a lot of reasons people have any type of post-trauma disorder and complex panic attacks and depression and OCD. And there's a lot of people have that, and there's a lot of reasons for Ashley Morgan and Ashley Walters and Esme to develop those things. It does not have to be him. We know that Ashley Morgan has an eating disorder, had one since she was like 13. She talked about it. She talked about it on her Facebook. She told her ex and all the friends about it. So now, her eating disorder or her not eating and getting very skinny is Matt's fault. Um, she always had one. I'm not making fun of her because that freaking sucks. I'm not saying that it's funny. What I'm saying is that you don't have to put your crap on other people. Okay? Just own it. You had a problem, you had a disorder, own it. I try to like put it out there. Evan Rachel Wood, there's videos of Evan Rachel Wood after she made the movie 13. Well, she talks about her self-harming and her troubles with depression and insomnia and such. This is way before Manson. This is when she was 14, 15 years old. So, you know, then when they try to put everything on him, it's just really like we just forget. You just forget everything you said in interviews. You don't know this on the internet that we can literally look it up. This light is horrible, isn't it? I like the light in my house better, but I thought that would be like a cool change. You know what? I'm gonna move this way. Boom. Okay, there. God, it's still stupid looking. It is dumb. Because I'm like right next to the window. There's a lot of light, but not on my face on the window. I'm gonna stay here because it's 100 degrees outside. I hate the summer. Ugh. Anyway, disgusting. Okay. So I know I did this. You can go to my video that I link on my last video from May 20th or May 21st, something around that week that I read this whole thing. But I'm going to touch on it again because now it's news. It wasn't really news back then. But she filed this a few months ago. Sorry. I hate how like court files are so damn small. Like you have to be some type of freaking like. Because I need more light. I can't even look at it. I'm gonna put my hair down, up again. Danny, is that you watching? That was Tammy. It's not Tammy. Well, anyway, thank you if you're watching. And make comments if you want to. And we can talk. I'm open to discuss when somebody says that I'm crazy, that I'm stupid, that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's discuss why you think I'm crazy or stupid, why you think he's guilty, why you think I'm wrong. We can discuss. But the moment somebody starts insulting other people, friends of mine and stuff, I will delete your ass. And I don't care about like, oh, freedom. There is no freedom. It's my channel. I'm gonna do whatever I want. So I have a lady before talking smack in one of my videos, like I don't know, like a month ago, and she was on and on about how I was a horrible woman because as a woman I should believe all this stuff and I should just. And I'm like, you know what, lady, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just doing this. And pretty much for myself. So I'm not here to convince you that your abuser was not your abuser, because she was saying how she was abused for real and how she doesn't believe Manson that is innocent. She believes these girls because it has to be true, because it happened to her. And I'm going like, well, that's a weird way to see things. Just because something happened to you, and some celebrity's gonna pop out and say happened to me, you're just gonna believe them because it happened to you. Yeah, that's sus. It's very sus. And anyway, this lady just put a bunch of comments on all my videos, and I delete all of them. Then she made another account saying, I can leave deleting my comments, and I responded to her, I will keep deleting them. I never claimed to be like, this is not a free forum for all. The minute you're gonna start hating on him or my friends, other people's channels that I know that we're friends with, the minute I'm gonna delete your stuff. So just be careful. If you want to talk about how these things come about and why I think they're not true, then we talk. Send me an email and we talk. But if you're just gonna throw insults out there and call people's names, like say bad things about corner cards and about me and about other people, just don't do that, because I will delete it and I will block you. I know other people are more, I'm not way nicer than me, but I don't care. I got nothing to lose, like I'm not gonna just like have you um they're hating or giving me weird comments if I have the power to delete it. This was a good thing I'm not a politician, because I'll be evil. Okay, so for some reason she filed it. She filed in San Francisco. It's okay. It's not that weird to file it in San Francisco if it happened in LA. But it's weird that she went to San Francisco to file this. But she made sure she stayed in the state of California, because if she filed this some on a different state where the Phoenix Act is not in place, then she'll have a no. She still has a no no matter what. But right, Jane Doe plaintiff, Chloe Black. Okay, just stop the BS. Her name is Chloe Black. So the complaints are complaint for damages. So we know damages the fancy word for cash. Period. So complaint for cash. Sexual assault, a violation of California Civil Code, interference with exercise of civil rights, and violation of the California Code. So it's all California. Okay. Sexual battery in violation of California Civil Code, international infliction of emotional distress in violation of California Civil Code. This is a civil case. This is not a civil case yet. There's no case. There's a filing. If there's a case, we're going to know there's a case. There's going to be a case number. There's going to be a court hearing, future court hearings, and mediations and stuff that lawyers do. This is not a case. I know that it makes them look better to say they have a case against Manson or have a case against some other person. This is not a case. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, that's a case. This is not a case. But it's still messed up because he's being canceled left and right for something that he hasn't even gone to court for it yet. Because in the case of Johnny Depp, he 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 went to court. I mean, whatever. He tried his best. He went to court. But Manson hasn't even done that. So it's not a case. There's no court hearing date, no case. That's the way I see it. Not just me, a lot of people see it that way. If I tell you that I'm fighting this against my ex boyfriend, I won't tell you that I have a case. I won't say, oh my God, guess what? I want to tell you something, dude. Like, I have a case against Johnny. What's the name of my ex-boyfriend? I should not use his. I have a case. Lord, what I just did. I have a case against my ex. Why would I call it a case if it's just a filing? There is no case unless there's people coming together to. First of all, you mediate. There's mediation. You don't go to the judge right away, because judges, they want to work as least as possible. Look what happened to poor Brittany. For real, is because she cannot get a court date fast enough, because judges don't want to listen to her. So first you go to mediation. So the Manson people will go to mediation with the SME and the all these people, representatives, and they will try to mediate. They're gonna be no mediation, and he's not gonna settle. Hope not. I hope he doesn't settle for money. He doesn't settle that for money. I hope not. I hope he doesn't do like a Michael Jackson type of situation and he pays him off because that's gonna make him. But anyway, whatever way they decide to do it, and then if the victims say no way, I'm not accepting this, or he say no way, I'm not paying this, then they're going to go to court probably months and months from now. Because again, look what's happening to Brittany in Los Angeles. You don't just go walk in there. You can be the richest person, the most famous person. You don't get a court date soon enough. It happens because of the pandemic and all that stuff. So there is no case. They like to use that word because it makes them feel important. It makes it look important. It's not just using the word accusations or filing. Okay, so excuse me, I need to drink something. I'm not drinking beer, I swear. It looks like it. It's a coffee drink. I'm covering the. I'm not drinking a work. It's where I am, by the way. It's coffee. It's a latte drink on a can. I don't drink, and if I did, I would not be drinking here. I put myself on camera while I'm doing. Can you imagine? I'm sure there are more than one YouTuber is like freaking baked out of their mind. Okay, sometimes the only way you can deal with like reading about these people because this is just good disclaimer. This is gonna involve a lot of sexual violence. Probably her fighting is the most gruesome and bloody of all of them. It's gonna involve some talk about on drugs, some talk on cutting, self-harming, cutting people, self-harming, cutting people, self-harming, mention of drugs, mention of sex, mention of torture, and all that bad stuff. So I'm not saying it with a smile on my face, but you should not listen to this anymore if you are going to be triggered by it. Which you never know when you're gonna be triggered, because if we all knew, we won't be triggered. But I'm just saying, okay. And again, disclaiming that I'm not making fun of people that are going through this. It's a lot of women and men, and I'm sorry to tell you, but a lot of women, because that's just numbers, okay? And a lot of little kids. People don't talk about like little children, especially little boys. They're going through all this shit. So I am not poking fun on abuse in general. I am not gonna even poke fun on her that much. I'm just gonna read it without trying to interrupt myself way too much because I feel like God, these people. Wow. Okay, I hope the internet is better. The internet is better here than in my house. So my apartment has crappy internet. YouTube does not like when we do live videos. They want you to upload. I hate uploading, so I'm just doing this. And for some reason, I heard somebody else that talks about Manson a lot. She was saying in her channel that people are not getting notifications. And one of my friends here, she told me that she was not getting notifications. So it's either some type of bug that it just happens to be a coincidence. It could be, right? Or it's something else. But I don't know why people don't get notifications. I'm getting notifications of all the channels, especially the ones that talk about Johnny and Amber. And it's kind of makes me mad that those channels that talk about Johnny and Amber over and over again, they are not talking about Manson. And it's like, dude, like they made like two videos when the whole thing exploded. And then I made a couple videos again, and that was it. And it's like, about like how Amber is an abuser and a narcissist and all the abuse that Johnny been through. And they're not making one Manson video that is more than 10 minutes. And you know who I'm talking about, right? Talking about the big ones, the big channels. There's a guy that has 220 videos on Johnny, and he has 3 on Manson. I feel like because because it's very uncomfortable. Like even for me, probably it's not, but it's uncomfortable for regular people. I'm not a regular person to read about violence and sexual violence and abuse of somebody who was only 19 years old or 20. It's hard, but the less we talk about it, the more we add into the problem of real victims and not real ones. We gotta talk about it as much as we can, but it's hard. Yeah. Also, I don't think they want to talk about Mensa because it's not politically correct to talk about Mensa. Just like it was not in the 90s, it's still not okay these days. It's like it's yucky to talk about Manson. I don't care. I've been talking about Manson since like April, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So okay, so this is what she's saying. Okay, in her finding from April, she said Warner used his position of power, celebrity, and connections to exploit and victimize Jane Doe during and after the relationship in 2011. Defendant Lord Jane Doe, a musician, yeah, she was and she still is, into what was like at first a consensual romantic relationship. A short time later, however, he RABED Jane Doe, he also subject Jane Doe to further degrading acts of sexual exploitation, manipulation, and psychological abuse. Item 3. Venue is probably because the offender was in Los Angeles. Okay, well, this is all the technical stuff. This case is provided by California. Okay. Plaintiff Jane Doe, Chloe, is an individual who was aggrieved by defendant's action. She is and has been over 11 times a resident of the state of California. Yeah, well, she was, and she still probably lives in California. This doesn't mean that this really happened because she was just a resident of California. The reason they say that in there is because when the judge reads this, if ever, you can't just be in another state and file something that happened. I mean, you have to kind of be consistent. And I thought she was being consistent until Friday the 13th of August, last Friday, a week from now, then the district attorney of Los Angeles was like, okay, well, no, this is not even worth investigating. And they kind of threw the whole thing out down. But at the moment that she was filing this, she thought she had a shot. So she went at it and said it's gruesome. I'm telling you, it's gnarly. Um, I mean, not for me because I'm used to this type of stuff, but it's gnarly. For in general, it will be a gnarly thing. Okay, so the Fenebra Warner Marilyn Manson has been relevant timers into the state of California. Yes. Okay. All these are just technicalities, but they all, they put it there for a reason. Because you can't say, like, for example, Esme is gonna have a big problem if her accusations don't get dismissed because she's gonna have a big problem trying to prove that she was here the whole time and that she wasn't in the UK going back and forth or somewhere else. She's gonna have a problem. She's gonna have a problem, big problem, uh, proving that she was in the country because she's not from here. So yeah, I don't know how she's gonna go about that. I guess they can use messages and phone calls and stuff, but you can text a person, call a person if you are out of state as well. But she has to prove that she was in LA. So this chick is proving that she was in LA. So Jane Doe went to his residence located above a liquor store. We don't know. It was Hollywood. Ashley Walters was there as promised, but it was clear to plaintiff that Warner was aggressively pursuing her. Ooh, aggressively pursuing me. How dare you? Despite the presence of his assistant. Okay. Okay. If he was doing something bad, he was like, oh, I'm being a bad boy. I should not be doing this. Why he would do it in front of all the people? Why? Why? He will wait until everybody leaves. While he would do it in front of Ashley. Ashley's the one that backstabbed him after and filed her own thing. If he knew he was going to be really bad, he was going to do bad things to Jane Doe, why he was doing all this pursuing in front of all the people in the apartment? because either he wasn't or it was not bad. And I think he was pursuing her. And he doesn't have to be crucified because he was pursuing her. Maybe he did text her 100 times a day. Whatever. Those things can be true, and those things can be maybe annoying, or they can be traits of personality that you don't like. But that doesn't make him an abuser. Okay, so aggressively pursuing somebody is so broad, it's so vague, it's such a weird thing to say. Anyway, but he did it when Ashley was there. That makes Ashley a witness, right? See what they're doing. My gosh. After the first meeting at the apartment, Warner started emailing, texting, and calling Jane Doe ever more frequently. They're not saying the times, they're saying more frequently. So, like, it could be 10 or it could be 100. You know, when Ashley Morgan said on her little interview, I don't know how many times I was abused, maybe 20, maybe 300. Well, this is the same thing. You know, they're not telling you how many times he texts her nonstop. He would not emailing her over and over. They're not saying the time, they're saying it was frequent. Like frequent is like more than usual, mostly more than usual. What is it abnormal? If you're not gonna give me a number, I'm going for what you're saying. Okay, frequently. He invited plaintiff to go on a date with him at the ArcLight movie theater in Hollywood. There's videos. This is true because there's a couple videos from TMZ. Believe it or not, I feel like TMZ is gonna help out Manson on this whole thing because TMZ has a lot of videos. Not a lot, a few, not a lot, but a few videos of Manson walking around with Lindsay, his now wife, in November 2010, May 2011. All these times that these girls are saying, these women are accusing him of stuff. TMZ has a lot of videos on him. So I won't be surprised if they debunk this whole thing, just showing, hey, he was with Lacey this day at this time. So, but in this case, this is true. They went to the ArcLight movie theater. I saw the video and she's saying it right here. So yeah, okay. You're telling one truth. Ooh, you're telling one thing. Whatever. After the date at the ArcLight, the relationship between plaintiff and Warner became romantic and physical. Yeah, usually that's how it goes. And that is not abusive. That is just the nature of people. Men, men, women and women, women and men. Okay. Romantic and then physical. They did not have intercourse for the first couple of weeks. Yeah, pay attention to this madness. Because plaintiff was not on birth control and Warner refused to use a condom. I'm gonna get my computer charger. Excuse me, we're gonna take a break. He refused to use a condom. I mean, yeah, that's shady. Yeah, that's suspicious. But it's on his own right. It's on my own right to say I refuse to take birth control. And my boyfriend get mad because I said that. And it's in his own right as a human to say, I'm not gonna use a condom. I think he should use a condom. Especially considering the people that he's dealing with. Not anymore now that he's married, but if you're gonna be dealing with women that do this type of stuff, use a condom. So anyway, so the filing says, I'm charging my computer, so hold on. The filing says, again, this is like completely improvised. I'm gonna put my chair right here. Okay. So I can charge my computer. More darkness. I hate the light. But anyway, at least look out the window. That's the courthouse right there. Okay. The filing says that he didn't want to use a condom. I don't know the proof of that. I don't know how can she prove that. I don't know if it was a text that he said, hell no, I'm not using a condom. We're gonna have sex tonight. I don't care. And then she went, well, wait, that I'm gonna take birth control. I don't know how she's gonna prove that, but I believe that maybe he did that. Maybe he said that. Okay. So now, you have to be a woman to know this, or no, or you can Google it. What I'm about to tell you about birth control. Unless we're in some type of future universe that you're a robot and you can automatically be protected. Anyway, without a condom. Without a condom, there's usually nothing that you can do that is gonna protect you right away. you gotta wait several weeks. So I don't know why she said only a couple weeks, and that is again sus. Anyway, so I knew I was gonna stop every 2 minutes. Um, well, okay, the whole thing with all this happening with Ashley Walters in there. Again, if he was planning to um, commit sexual crimes, let's put it that way, against her, he wouldn't have all the people in the apartment. But it's kind of funny that she's naming Ashley because this way Ashley can say, "Oh yeah, I was there with Chloe was being," but that makes her look like crap. Like what type of person, what type of girlfriend, and what type of friend you are? You just sitting around while the girl is just being abused, even psychologically. You're just sitting around waiting for the payroll. Like if that did happen like that, then she is guilty as being a shady person. Um, even if it's not, even if she didn't see anything physical, even if she only heard him, let's say, okay, let's pretend this happened. Let's pretend. Even if it wasn't nothing physical, even if it was just emotional abuse, um, and she witnessed that, she witnessed another woman getting abused in any way, and she just sat there because she just wanted her job. She wanted to take her pictures and getting paid to take her stupid freaking pictures. That speaks volumes of the type of woman she is. But I don't think it happened. But if you know, um, okay, so they went to the arc light, they watched a movie, blah 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 blah. He said, I'm not using a condom. Hell no. Um, it's just funny to me, just imagine him saying that. It's messed up. I will say that everybody should be protected, but that's also it's you're right. It's your own body, so I can have an opinion on it, but I don't mean that it's not illegal to not use a condom. So I'm trying to say. Okay, they didn't have intercourse for the first couple of weeks because she was not on birth control. He refused to use a condom. Item 12. Person made 2 weeks after meeting plaintiff, Warner told plaintiff that he loved her. Okay, 2 weeks. I mean, oh my god, it's getting so dark. Blue skies, but it's so dark in here. Anyhow, so after 2 weeks, he said he loved her. You know what I think? A lot of people think. I think this thing did not last more than 2 weeks. As Ashley Morgan said, oh, we were together for like 2 years and then 3 months, and now everybody's people that know her at the time, they're gonna know, wait, that was like a weekend, maybe a week relationship. So when this chick says that he said I love you after 2 weeks, I'm thinking maybe they were together for only 2 weeks. Um, of course, they're not gonna say that because they're making it. They want you to think that this is not a one night stand. They want you to think that he did this to people that he loved. Because if you believe that, then he's a monster. Um, so it's like worse to sexual assault your girlfriend than a girl that you just met. It's wrong. Both things are wrong. But it sounds they made it look like we were together. Do you know what I mean? Um, I don't have a way to edit this later, so this is gonna look and sound like shit. But whatever is important. So he's not using a condom. So then she got on birth control. She got on birth control, which it takes more than 2 weeks for it to take effect. So I don't know um, if this is a mistake she made, or this is a lie, or she really did that and she thought that she knew what she was doing. So he said, I love you to her. I love you and I want to be in a monogamous relationship with you. Move in, right? He claimed he wanted a serious monogamous relationship and asked her to move in with him in the apartment in West Hollywood. During the first weekend of March, oh man, it's just gonna come and bite them on the butt because I'm telling you the DMZ videos don't lie. And when they throw dates like this, March, somehow there's going to be videos of him or audio of him or videos of her uh, being far that month. And she should not have put that in there during the first weeks of March, because we're talking about March 2010. It's really funny. March 2010, she said she was with him. Ashley Morgan says she was with him in November 2010, okay, for Thanksgiving. And there's a TMZ video of Manson walking with Lindsay, his wife, around Thanksgiving 2010. So I don't know how he just figured this thing and split into pieces to be with all these people at the same time. That's not possible. It is possible. I mean, okay, we're gonna say, oh, he can be a cheater. I don't think so. I think that he was with this one for like a week. He was with Ashley for a weekend, and it got out of proportion, and now they're lying about it. But I do think that he was with these people. Like I said, the reason they're making it sound like they were in a relationship is so you can think that he's worse than a guy who is abusive to a person they just met. It's bad regardless, but it's worse if you think about, oh well, I thought he loved me. How could he do this to me? He loved me, and even if he said he loved you, what do you why did you believe it? Why you think it was true? Um, so anyway, now she's rent free. Let's put it that way. Oh my God, it got so dark. Have another plug over there. Maybe that's my computer over there. This will work better. You will think because I'm here, this is gonna look more professional. It don't. It doesn't. I can sit on the floor. I guess I can. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, all right. There. A little bit of light. Okay, the person next to making a bunch of noise next door, but I'm not gonna complain because they can say the same about me. Okay. So, Chloe is rent free. Okay. 2 weeks after, he said, "I love you. Move in." Okay. She did. During the first weeks of March, Warner went on a trip to Japan for a fashion show. It's another thing they're gonna have to prove. I don't know. But okay, when he returned, he bought, this is the famous kimono situation. I talked about it before, but I'm gonna talk about it now again. When he returned, he bought with him numerous gifts, a lot of gifts, right? Because he's so generous, right? Yes, he is. Gifts for Jane Doe, including expensive jewelry and pink and expensive shoes and handbags and a pink kimono that he expect from her to wear at his apartment all the time. He also gave plaintiff a key to the apartment. From this point on, Warner made clear to plaintiff that she was required to be with him quite often unless he had band practice. It's your girlfriend, dude. I mean, she okay, so she's getting the key. She's not paying rent or pretty much anything because she's pretty getting rent. She's getting rent free. She's getting food free. She's getting dope. She's getting whatever she wants to get. Okay, but he said, "Hey, just be in the house for me," and then she can't. I mean, I don't know. Like if you live with somebody, isn't it like that the purpose when you live with somebody? So why is she so butthurt about him saying that he wants her to be there? It's just quite often. Here we go with the vague shit again. Vague, elusive, quite often. This is like Esme saying, he want me to be there 24/7. He want me to wear high heels 24/7. This is the same thing, a little bit, tweak a little bit. Instead of heels, pink kimono. Instead of 24/7 is quite often. But okay, unless he has band practice, right? This is supposedly, allegedly, what he said to her, or another engagement, in which time he allowed her to go to the duplex that she rented with her aunt. Oh yeah, so she had an apartment in LA with a family member, and she was allowed to go there when he had band practice, which I'm sure was quite often. Quite often is the word that she used, not me. Quite often. So he probably have been practice at least, let's say, twice a week or 3 times a week, quite often. So that means that those times she was allowed to, let's use that word, to go to stay in the apartment with her family member. Okay, so we're using her words quite often. Then let's say he was practicing with his band, I don't know, let's say 3 times a week. Is that crazy? 3 times a week. So 3 times a week, she was allowed to go see her family. And what's wrong with that? And the rest of the time she lived there with him. What is wrong? Like, I know people that live with their boyfriends or their girlfriends and they don't leave the house until they really leave for, like, they leave for work, but they don't really go out and have, when you're in a relationship, you don't do the whole girls' night out anymore. You fucking don't. I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, 22 or something, and you got start pooping your head or whatever. But if I live with somebody, yeah, I'm gonna be with that person often, quite often. So she's making it sound like he's a monster because he won her around after he gave her the key. Yeah, somebody give you a key. You can say no to the key, or you can say yes to the key and just. I'm not saying like that she has to follow the rules, but if the person is paying the rent and he's letting you, let's use that language, go out where he has been practiced. I'm sure he has been practiced a lot because of Marilyn Manson. Then she was allowed to go out a lot. And it wasn't just to go buy shoes, it was um, to a family member. So there was an apartment that her and family member was sharing. So she had a safe shelter to go to. So more than Esme and Ashley's and all that, she had another place she could stay at. She chose not to, but she had another place she could stay at. Hmm. I mean, I think that means a lot. I didn't pick up on that a couple months ago when I read this. She had another place that she could shelter herself if she was being. Then you got the whole thing. Well, maybe she didn't feel like telling her family what's going on. All those things can be possible. But also, what I think is that he gave her the key. He said, "Hey, I kind of want you to be around when I come back, and because I love you and blah 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 blah." And she was like, "Okay, cool." And then he goes to have band practice or a movie premiere or a TV show shooting or whatever, and then she's hanging out with her family. What is wrong about that? What is so violent and so insane about that? I mean, I don't know. I might just be skipping some technical stuff. Okay, so he became increasingly controlling of plaintiff when he permitted her to leave or to leave her own residence. Warner will text and call her many times. Again, no numbers, many, many, quite often, many times, most likely. Okay, many times. I don't know what the fuck that means anymore with these people. Uh, he was texting her a lot. Let's rephrase that. A lot. A lot of people do. I know people that do that all day, and it's a pain in the butt. And I hate it, but it is their own problem. It's their personality trait. It's not even they're not even doing it on purpose. Sometimes it's, I don't know. Some people are wired like that. Maybe he's wired like that. Again, is that illegal? Again, she's not saying like, oh my god, it was like 120 times a day. No, she's saying quite often, many times. You know, it's like many times. So till now, he went to Japan. He got a kimono for her. He wanted her to wear the kimono often. He gave her the key of his apartment. He wanted her to be there often. When he wasn't there, she was allowed to leave and stay with her family member, and it's quite often as well. And then when he became more controlling, he was texting her quite often. These people are good. I mean, they're good. I mean, it doesn't fool me, but I can see how it will fool somebody. It will fool a lot of people quite often. I just love those, things you can say. Just language is such a funny thing. Many times, quite often, most likely, most of the times, often. I mean, okay, like give me numbers, or you can say every night, and that will be more believable. If you tell me he was texting every single night, but if you don't say anything like that, then it's like I'm not gonna go for it. But how dare him give her a bunch of free shit, and let her stay there and expect for her to be there. Right? What a monster. Monster, totally. So here we go with a sleeping schedule, their sleeping problem, right? Deprivation. Warner slept much of the day. He sleeps all day and stays up all night, remember? Anyway, was often awake only at night and morning and kept his apartment extremely dark. Extremely dark again. Elusive. Extremely dark. Sometimes pitch black. I don't think so, but okay. And very cold. We go back to the 65 degrees. It's like 67 in here right now. I'm not I'm not gonna go and tell them they're abusing me. Okay, it was dark and it was cold. Okay, Chloe. Okay. Plaintiff was often disorientated and dizzy and unstable to keep track of time because the windows were covered of blackout curtains. I have blackout curtains in my house. Is that a bad thing? I have. They're not black. They're purple, but they're called blackout curtains because some of us don't like the sun. Or I don't mind the sun, but there's like certain, you don't want it on your window all the time. Whatever. So how dare him? He had the AC on all the time and blackout curtains. If you don't know about LA, it's hot as balls here. I'm being very vulgar and nasty today and raunchy. But dude, it is. Like you have to have the AC on, like right now, all the time. So I don't know where she's from, but for her to think that it's abusive to have the AC on, you don't even need a heater here, but you do need AC, and you have it on all day. Turn it off at night. Sometimes if it cools off and if it's a dry night, dude. Otherwise you have it on, or you will melt because it's really hot, and it's hot from like April to like Halloween. Like it doesn't stop. So her saying the AC, that it was very. She's not saying they were AC, but it was very cold and very dark. The darkness, the dark, the dark can just be part of just him having thick curtains. You know, maybe. I don't know what they're trying to say. I still haven't figured out because they all talk about the cold and the dark and the cold and the dark and all the filings. So she was disorientated and she was dizzy, unable to keep track of time. She really had to use a flashlight. I'm sorry, it's so funny. The TV show X Files. If you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. Or any TV show with like the FBI going inside a house and they have flashlights and stuff. Yes. Remember Ashley Walters court fighting? She also talked about flashlights. I mean, is that okay? It was dark in there. Shit, like, alright, flashlights. She would have to use flashlights despite the frigid temperature. Frigid. Oh, so freezing cold. Warner refused to allow plaintiffs to wear clothing. I don't think so. If that is true, that's fucked up. Um, but that's part of the whole how they throw glitter on this and they make it so bad and good at the same time. Good for them and bad for us and good for the people that believe it. So it was so cold, and then she was not allowed to wear anything, demanding that she be naked much of the time. He also will become furious with her if she attempted to touch the thermostats on the wall. She attempted to touch the AC. He will be furious. He probably just argued about that a little bit. Told her, hey, you don't pay the bills here, so you don't gotta say in how cold it's gonna be. Maybe there was an argument about that, kind of like a fight about how cold it was. but I don't think he became furious every time. I don't think so. In addition to the darkness and being cold virtually all the time, again, virtually, quite often, virtually, most likely. Plaintiff was often hungry. Here we go. Again, at Warner's apartment. Initially, when plaintiff moved in, Warner will allow her to eat. Allow her. See, with the using the language that they want you to think he was allowing her to eat. I mean, I don't want to hate, but do you remember Manson in 2010? Was he skinny? No, he wasn't. He was. He looked healthy. He looked like he was eating. He was photographed in photos and videos of paparazzi videos and pictures of him leaving restaurants and food places. So I don't know what he was eating and she wasn't eating, because he didn't look like he was starving to me. And I'm not hating on um, body shaming anybody, but it's like that. That's the truth. And besides, if you look at pictures of Chloe and videos of Chloe, she was skinny like before, she was skinny during him, and she's still skinny. So when these people always try to put their skinniness and their paleness and everything on him, it's a damn joke, really, because they were skinny. They've always been skinny. They're like actresses and models and musicians, and they know that they have to maintain a certain, yeah, this is fucked up, but this is not Manson's fault. They know they have to maintain certain weight, they have to maintain certain figure, so they get on diets, they develop eating disorders, they use a lot of drugs, so they don't have appetite and eat. Dude, it's not his fault that you didn't want to eat. I don't think that this whole like at the beginning he would allow her to eat, but then he stopped allowing her to eat. Over time, he started to deny her food. See, allow, deny, they use those words. Again, Warner kept food for himself. Oh, okay, that's what I was saying about how he didn't look, he was starving for himself, but he forbade plaintiff from eating. What, what did he put, like literally a lock on the fridge? He put a lock on the fridge. Because otherwise, if this guy was sleeping all day, like she's saying, you go up in the fridge and eat. I don't know. Unless he put a lock like on the fridge and a lock of all the cabinets, all she gotta do is wait until she go to sleep and just eat something. If we believe in this, right? So I mean, there's a lot of problem solving coming up in my head right now. That if she was in a situation for months and months, also she was able to leave to see her family member, right? So those times she was eating, those times she wasn't in the dark, those times she was able to find shelter and talk to people. So I'm sorry, Chloe Black, because it's just ridiculous. But then he talked about her weight. Supposedly, he said she was fat. In addition to the darkness and being covered all the time, one plenty would not allow her to eat. Over time, he started to deny her food, and he kept food for himself, but forbade her from eating. Warner told plaintiff because she was his girlfriend, she needed to lose weight because her weight embarrassed him. She was skinny. I remember like having, funny fact. I I was on Instagram, like I'm still on Instagram, right? But my Instagram is like I don't post any of this stuff. It's not important. I mean, it is important, but my Instagram is like just my kids and me and just dorky stuff, right? Just good stuff, not all this negative bullshit. And I follow Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. I follow Manson, of course, and I follow a bunch of other musicians and stuff. And Billy Corgan made a video talking about Chloe Black and how great Chloe Black was. Check out this new artist, Chloe Black. So I check her out, and I was like, okay, she's cool. Her music is kind of weird, but she's different. She's cool. So I follow her. And weirdly enough, when this whole thing popped out and my list of people started being like anti-Evan and I stand with Manson people, justice for Johnny, justice for Manson, all those people on my Instagram, she blocked. She didn't block me, she blocked a lot of people that I know. And that is really weird because I never even met this person. I'm nobody. Who cares about me? And I think she blocked everybody. that was following the Stand by Manson page, which is thousands of people. So she blocked all of us for no reason. I never had attempted to talk to her, hurt her in any way, talk to her, comment on her pictures, not even once. So no reason. But anyway, when I was looking at her profile back in the day, when I was like, okay, maybe she's cool. I don't know. Um, she looks so skinny to me. And this, she was with Manson in 2010. This, I'm talking about 2020. She still looks very skinny. So I don't understand this whole like put your skinniness and your choice of lifestyle and eating choices on the dude that you're dating. It's just like, or on the woman or anybody that you're dating. It's ridiculous. Because she was really scared, she's trying to say, right? To even ask for food. Plaintiff was frightened and scared of Warner's fans. Oh, the fans. Oof, our fans, the fans. Warner told her frequently that his fans were extreme and devoted, yep, and likely will hate her. I believe he said that. They were frighteningly loyal to him and fanatics and obsessed. Warner, he warned her. It's kind of funny. He gave her like a warning. He was like, hey, you're gonna be with me, like warning. You're gonna be skinny all the time. You're gonna be naked. You're not gonna eat. And by the way, my fans are fucking crazy and they're gonna hate you. Can you imagine that conversation with somebody like excuse me. I think it's funny. Sorry. I promise you this looks way better than my head. The freaking like this sky is so blue right now, but it's just looks weird. I know that. I'm aware. So yeah, so you're gonna be skinny. You have to be skinny. You're not gonna eat. You're not gonna turn. You're not gonna wear anything. The apartment is gonna stay cold, and my fans are crazy. So all this stress she was going through. So he was trying to warn her because saying that my fans are crazy, so they're gonna hate you just because you're with me, right? Plaintiff often felt frightened of Warner, but he went to great lengths to gain her trust again and reassure her whenever she expressed a concern that he was there for her. So this is like a part of the emotional abuse part that they're talking about. Like she would be scared, she would say something, and then he would probably say, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it again." And the whole, this is what they want you to believe, right? He would go to Graceland to apologize and to promise that he was gonna take care of her, and blah blah. He often spoke about his extreme high IQ, his accomplishments, and his famous friends. Yeah, so what? Like he's famous. He has famous friends. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about my friends, but what about my friends happen to be famous? I'm gonna talk about them because they're my friends. Like you can't win with these people. You just can't even say anything. He talked about his IQ, his accomplishments, his fame, his famous friends. The fact that he has such a famous friends and beautiful ex-girlfriends made plaintiff feel as though she should put aside her doubts and fears. So yeah, so pretty much that. That doesn't need explanation, right? Plaintiff was made to feel inferior to him due to the age difference. Much older, yep. This is what I figured it was Chloe Black. After I read this in the middle of May, I just put it together. I was like, wait, she's much younger. She's a musician. She is this blonde lady. I looked it up and it was, everybody thought it was, I thought it was her. And everybody keep calling her Jane Doe. And I was like, dude, like, oh, but she doesn't want money. That's why she's using Jane Doe. No, that's what she wants you to believe. Um, she's using Jane Doe because a good strategy. And also, well, she's gonna use her name and nobody knows her, right? Esme Bianco, she's her name because she's Esme Bianco. She's the actress of Game of Thrones. She's famous, right? This one, so of course she does. It doesn't matter if she used her name or not. They're trying to hide behind the whole I'm anonymous. I don't want money. I don't want nothing but justice. I'm not gonna use my name. Anyways, her. So he's much older. I think that she is about like she's like more than 25 and less than 30 something. So she might just be, I don't know. When she was with him, she might have been like 24 or something like that. And maybe right now, maybe she's 30 something. That's what I'm thinking. So I don't think that the difference is not like drastic, like Evan was 19. And yeah, that was drastic. This is not that drastic. Not like that makes it illegal, because she's not saying that she was a minor. She's saying that he was much older. And his status and power and fame and everyone around him also seemed to treat him with extreme reverence and adulation. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Warner told plaintiff about his relationship with the virtual wood and that he had wanted to kill her. Okay, you, if you were like a Manson type of person, you know this interview, and if you're not, maybe you heard about it. It's an interview that he gave. This is, I mean, this dude says the weirdest stuff, right? I remember when he said that he was smoking human bones, and somebody was saying that he removed his ribs. This has always been this weird stuff around him, right? But on his in this interview, he, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have said what he said, but he said that he wanted to kill Richard Wood and smash her head with a sledgehammer, with a hammer. Yeah, that was not smart to say, but that's part of an interview that it was out there, that it's on YouTube. We can find it. She could find it, and you can make a whole case based on an interview, or based on the fact that his lyrics, he talks about tying people up and drinking people's blood and making a blood pact with people, so that you're gonna turn that into your case. I mean, okay. So then we have to believe that Ozzy Osbourne kills babies and Alice Cooper sacrificed dogs, and we gotta believe that Lana Del Rey kills men for money. For reals, like if you're gonna start believing everybody and all their lyrics, you're a fool. Period. You know. So his persona, yeah, that was maybe a mistake. I'm sure he got yelled at by his management after that interview. But it's one interview. Of all the other interviews that he talks really nice things about her and about Dita and about even about Rose. So there's one interview that he made a little joke, but they choose not to look at all the other interviews that he said that he was really inspired because his new girlfriend Evan. I mean, why we're not looking at those? Because I looked at those and it's very sad, because then she totally backstabbed him. But there's a couple interviews he talks about how he was so uninspired after his divorce, and now he has a girlfriend, and he doesn't say Evan, but we know it's her, and he's all inspired again, and make two records when he was with her and say nice things about her. So yeah, we're gonna look at the one interview that he said that as a joke. Um, yeah, so he told her, "Hey, I wanna, mm-mm, Everett Wood." Okay, sometimes like when you're with somebody, it can be famous or not. People kind of like blow their own steam, like So, oh yeah, if I have a chance, I will kill my ex-husband. I mean, there's things that people say that. I'm not saying it's right. We all are guilty of saying stupid shit. He's just a human. Yeah, he is. So, how many times you say something like that? I say stuff like that before. But and again, I'm not on TV, so I didn't say it on an interview. But I'm also trying to refresh in my own head and to put on this video. There are many interviews that he says nice things about her and about Dita and about Rose, whoever he was with at the moment. He's always giving compliments to people that he's with. But okay, but there's that one that he said he wanted to kill her with a hammer. And then he wanted to kill her. Okay, he told plaintiff about a time that he had tied Evan to a chair and pointed a gun at her. There's no proof of any of this, so I'm not even gonna stop at it. He said he considered killing her, but then decided to be merciful. Warner recounted the story about the previous Christmas day when he had called Mrs. Wood 158 times and cut himself every time she did not answer the phone. Okay, that's on the same interview. On the same interview, he talks about that. So he made a mistake to say that in an interview. He should not have said that on TV, but he did. Um, And that's that. Okay. There were a few key moments of milestones in the relationship. Of course, there were a few key moments. There were a bunch of cool moments and good key moments. I'm glad that she's saying that. There were some key moments where Warner implied to plaintiff that he was honoring her, such as when he first gave her the keys to the apartment. The biggest of these honors or benchmarks in the relationship cause came when he told plaintiff that he had decided that he wanted to show her a videotape called of a movie called Groupie. Dun, dun, dun. If you follow like any of these channels, mine or Colonel Cars or Greta, you know what the movie Group is about, right? So Chloe's saying here that he showed her the snuff film and made her really worried about the girl in the film. The movie's called Groupie because she didn't know what was reality and what was acting. And okay, it was an acting job and it was a movie shoot. Manson was trying to make it like look private by just holding the camera, but there was more than him and her in the room. And she was an actress, got paid for it. Okay, the video, some of the video was used on the footage for Dead to the World, and the video even has credits, like crew members credits. I mean, I've never seen a snuff film that has credits at the end, like, oh, I think this person. Paula Weiss is the actress, and she's alive and kicking. Um, Go watch the video that she made with Colonel Kurtz. It's amazing. Oh my god, that interview was so great. I already I already put the link in almost in all my videos. I put her link because everybody knows who she is, but not everybody puts these things together. So the movie that Chloe's talking about here, he showed her this movie. Um, it scared the Jesus out of her. Okay, she thought that the girl in the movie was being tortured for reals. Now we know that she wasn't. So this is kind of why the district attorney is probably going like, "What the hell?" Just no. He claimed to have made in the 90, in the 90s. She cannot even say this the number. She said 90s because that's gonna leaves it open. He kept the videotape locked in a safe and told plaintiff that the only three people in the world beside him had ever seen the video. He told plaintiff that if he showed his to her, it was because he trusted her completely and that it was incredibly meaningful to him. When it came to show the video to her, Warner sent Miss Walters Ashley home. He's like, "Go, Ashley. I'm gonna do some bad stuff. Go home." He sent Ashley home so he and plaintiff could be alone. He explained her that he had filmed this video in 1996. Okay, after his band had played a show at Hollywood Bowl, he said he was staying at this house located near Cahuenga Cross in Hollywood Hills. So he decided to make this movie out of nowhere. No, he. This is a process, a project that he had. That it was a real project. It looks very homemade. It looks like it was like somebody just had the idea to torture this person, but it was a project and it was a job for the actress and everybody involved. So Chloe was on under the impression that this was just something that popped out of his idea to do to get a girl groupie and do bad things to her. I mean, anyway, now we know that's not true, so that's cool. Because before when she filed this, we were not sure that was not true. Now we know it's not true. We know that nobody died making that film, and maybe it was disturbing because it was meant to be, and it was acting, and it was just a film shoot, and people got paid for it. Period. Like, what else are you gonna say? You know, it was like, anyway. So he showed her this. Okay, Warner turned the volume of the sound system very high setting and press play. Oh my god, is he how they're going? He set the volume very high and then he pressed play. You know, shit. The film started with the band partying together. It was very rowdy and loud. Yeah, they're gonna be loud. Warner put a condom on the penis of bandmate Twiggy Ramirez. I can't say that without just imagining freaking laughing. If inside, I'm laughing and perform oral sex on Twiggy. There was a knock on a ring on the door. Someone answered. The door opened and seemingly young teenage fan, which she was not a teenager. The actress from the movie Groupie, she was at least 20, when she made this movie, because she also worked on other videos and she was hanging out with Trent Reznor. I think she was Trent Reznor's girlfriend or whatever. She was hanging out kind of with everybody, and she was working on videos. She was a model. She was at least 21. So, she's saying the word teenager, so you get more like, oh, this movie has a teenager in it. It's just for shock. So I ring on the door, and then the teenage fan was holding something that she bought for Warner. She was wearing a Marilyn Manson band T-shirt and dark eye makeup. Who doesn't wear dark eye makeup? Eye makeup. Jesus Christ! He humiliated her, and beneath her, she cried and bled. She was being interrogated and tortured. The girl's t-shirt was removed, and Warner forced her to drink a glass of one of the members' urine. No, again, Paula, in Colonel Kurt's interview, said that she was not drinking anything from anybody. So this whole thing is fabricated. There was no drinking. Later, a gun is introduced, and Warner threatened her with a possibly pistol, possibly a pistol. If there was a gun, it was fake gun because it was a movie. So that's what we know now. But we didn't know this then. When I read this the first time, I was like, oh well, maybe there is a movie that nobody died, but maybe the movie's kind of like it's like a like a kind of like something that you would show somebody that you're with, kind of embarrassed by it. You put it away later. Now we know it was actually a professional job. She was not being tortured. She was not being slapped around with a gun. She was not drinking anybody's body fluids either. Plaintiff was repulsed and sick and scared of the film. As Warner increased his abuse and violence in the film, Plaintiff began thinking that he was showing her this because he was going to kill her. Remember that Ashley Morgan said, he's like a serial killer. Ashley Morgan compared him to Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, come on. He's a serial killer. He wants everybody to die. He just like get. He's like you're living rent free. He's giving you a bunch of cool gifts and a bunch of drugs, but he also wants to kill you. So why he's not killing you to begin with? Like, remember, like Ashley said, he's a serial killer. And I'm making fun of Ashley, and I said I was not gonna make fun of Ashley. It's really hard. I don't mind somebody makes fun of me. If I was out there making a fool of myself, talking to People's Magazine, somebody's out there is gonna make fun of me. That is like life, isn't it? Just how life goes. You're gonna put yourself out there. Somebody's gonna make fun of you on YouTube, on the radio, on a music video, anything. You put yourself out there, somebody might make fun of you. So, I mean, no, it's not beer. It's worse than beer because it's a Starbucks drink and it has like 210 calories. Oh, one sip. It's horrible. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of like that. So, she didn't, okay, Paula advised the actress. She did not drink anybody's body fluid. She was not slapped around with a gun. She was tied up in a fake way and yelled at by him in the movie. She was acting. That was a shoot. Um, the video was used for the Another World tour, and also this credits. I never seen a person making a movie torturing somebody or a snuff or a porn video with their boyfriend or girlfriend and having credits at the end of it. You know, so yeah, it's fake. I mean, no, I will not call it fake. It's fictitious. Um, fiction, not reality. But Chloe was freaking out about it and she was feeling sick. And then she got more scared because she said she's thinking that he was going to kill her. Because why show her this movie if he's not going to kill you? And in her freaking mind, what I just said makes sense. Plaintiff was repulsed and scared. Okay. All that. Warner's screaming and abuse got worse. Plaintiff was no longer able to hold back her tears. Warner saw that she was crying, but he told her that she needed to keep watching until the end. Yeah. Okay. I'm not see those things. I'm not even gonna stop because when the video was over, plaintiff remembers crying and crying and asking repeatedly if the girl in the video was dead. Warner would not answer. Plaintiff thought Warner murdered the girl in the video. Warner claimed the girl was actually his girlfriend at the time. Plaintiff, which is true, is true. It's true. Remember, plaintiff was confused because the girl looked a little young, like a young teenager. A lot of people look younger, and Paula, the actress of the movie Groupie, was um, working in all the videos with him and with other people in the 90s. And yeah, she has a very young, fresh look to her, but I don't mean that she's young because she looks young. Okay, like people get procedures, people get the special effects as makeup. People can look as young as old as they want to look these days, and even back then, she does look young, but she wasn't young, and she was at least 21. So Chloe thought that the girl looked too young to be in the movie. But let me ask you a question, Chloe Black. Does it matter if you're thinking the girl's dead and you think the girl freaking died in the film? Does it matter if she's young or old? It's like the fuck, the hell. Why just making a big deal about the girl being young? This person is dead. I wouldn't care if I'm thinking the person that got tortured is a freaking grandma. I will be scared. But regardless, it doesn't have to be a teenager for me to be scared. That's what they're putting it on the filing. So you go like, oh shoot, it was a teenager. Dude, if this happened, it will be bad no matter how old the person is. So what? Chloe just she was scared because of the teenagers thing, not because this person seemed tortured, had a gun on her head, which is all fictitious and it was a movie shoot. Now we know that and she was an actress and got paid for it. She said that and I believe it. So this whole thing, okay, this whole thing is a chunk of the whole groupie thing. I'm gonna give you a fun fact. If I was able to edit, I will edit and I'll put the picture right here. But you can look it up. Chloe Black, which is a Jane Doe person, album cover. It's either the album cover for her new album or it is the cover of one track. You know what it's called? Do you know what it's called? Groupie. It's called Groupie. She is wearing a jacket. Chloe Jane Doe is wearing a jacket and kind of looking like this, right? The jacket is bejeweled, like it's really cool looking with jewels and stuff in the jacket. And you see the word groupie. So how freaking problematic is this? You're traumatized because of you think this was a snuff film. You think this chick is dead, right? But you're going to name your song, your album, and you're gonna be in the top on the front of it, wearing a jacket with the word groupie. I don't know if you all know that, but I do because I was following her on Instagram until she blocked me. So groupie, groupie is something that gave her nightmares, that made her. She said it's one of the main reasons she was filing this open a case against him because she was so traumatized. She didn't know the girl was alive or dead from the movie Groupie, but she make she has pictures of herself. The top of her track of the record. I don't know if the record has like 13 songs or 2 songs. Okay, I don't know, and I'm not gonna look it up right now. But on the merge of her new record, it's a picture of her wearing a jacket. The jacket had the word groupie on it. I'm gonna find that and use it as a thumbnail because it's very interesting, don't you think? Yes, you're basing the whole case pretty much on the fact that he made you watch this movie. Because everything else is like not letting you eat, not letting you turn off the AC or turn on some lights, all that. But um, the chunk that is more like gruesome and more disturbing of the whole filing from Chloe Black Jane Doe is the fact that he showed her that movie. Well, now we know that was an actress. So this means she always knew. She always knew the movie was fake. She always knew nobody died in the movie Groupie, and she knew it was just an actress. That's why she was comfortable enough to name one of her tracks Groupie. And she was comfortable enough to wear a jacket with the word Groupie. If this was something that it was bothering her and traumatizing her, and she still thinks the girl's dead, why would she use that word? There's so many other names and words, language that she could have used. The answer is very easy because she knew. She knew it was not a snuff film. She knew the actress was Paula. She knew the name of the actress probably. She knew that the person wasn't dead. She knew that what she saw in the movie was fictitious. And she was not traumatized by it. She wasn't. Otherwise, why you name your album track Groupie? Just freaking weird. Like if I'm telling you this, like I'm freaking scared of tornadoes. Scared shitless of tornadoes. Okay, fuck, like I'm traumatized. This happened to me. Okay, whatever. And then, I have freaking tornado pictures on the wall, and I have a tornado on my screensaver on my phone. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Same thing. I mean, just I think of something stupid like that or something that you're scared of. It could be spiders or it could be tornadoes or it could be, I don't know, certain celebrity that scares the crap out of you. Evan scares me a lot. And she does. And but you just have pictures of that around, of the one thing that scared you to death when you are with this guy. Then you just repeat it. And you do a photo shoot. In the photo shoot, you're wearing a jacket with that word in it. I can't repeat it enough because it's like so insane. It was insane 2 months ago, and it's still insane now. And yeah, look this up. It's out there. I didn't um, torture anybody for it. This is like public domain. Google. You know what I mean? So then after this, she felt like she was like scared. Like she wouldn't even talk back at him because seriously, she's scared. She's thinking this girl of the movie Groupie, the girl's dead. Everybody's dead. She's scared shitless. Wait, hold on. She's still going 3 or 4 times a week to see her family member when Manson is out there working because he worked. And so she's allowed to go at least 3 to 4 times a week to see her family member. So this whole time she was able to do that. And this is her saying it. She should have not said that. But in the filing in the beginning, she said that if the family member in Los Angeles had an apartment, that she was visiting family members every time the Manson had band practice. For somebody successful, I'm not a musician, so I don't know. But if you are successful, you know, and you have band practice and you hang out with your band, not hang out in a city way, but get together to work in projects, what, like 2 times a week? What do you think? 3 times a week? I would say 3 times a week, maybe. So let's use 3 times a week. He was going and on his business, on his Marilyn Manson brand, okay, and working on stuff so she can live rent free. And in those times, she wasn't in the house, and she never talked about being locked. She said she had a key. They mistake, Chloe. She said she had a key. She should have never said she had a key. So if she had a key, then she was able to. What do you do with a key? I know I'm like talking like she's a like 2 year old, but I feel like treating these people like they're a bunch of toddlers. What do you do with a key? You open the door. What do you do? The guy sleeps all day. You can go to the kitchen and get something to eat. All right, if we're gonna believe it. And the cold or the darkness, I already throw it out there that it's hot. It's crazy hot here, and having the AC at 65 is not so unheard of. But anyway, you had a key to open and close doors. You had the chance to go to see your family member, one family member that live in LA. And a lot of people can say that they have a family member that lives in LA, and you have the chance to be working on your music. You were posting on Instagram the whole time she was with him. She was posting on her Facebook. So you had a phone then. I mean, what, she's gonna use his phone to post on Facebook. So the whole isolation thing it's just so sus, seriously. Yeah. How long I've been here about? Oh my god, 34 minutes. This is awful. I look so much better when I'm in my house, right? I figure. But it's like so nice outside, so I thought, oh my goodness, I can just show it outside. I show it outside. While I keep talking about this thing. Okay, so um, so yeah, when I get home, I'm gonna just finish what I'm doing first because I I have to work. You know what I mean? And then um, and then I'm gonna read the second part. But that is for that Jane Doe, Chloe Black, and remember that is the person that the district attorney of Los Angeles is dismissing. So I read that for context, and because there's so many of these women, and they all seem so, they all they all sound the same. But her case is different because she talks about the movie group and she talks about different things. They are not like the other ones. And this is the case. The district attorney and last Friday, so a Friday from now, a week ago, said that there was no proof and he was not going to investigate it. Again, it's not like saying, "Oh, he's innocent." It's not like saying, "Oh yeah, we stand by Manson people. We believe you guys." No, they're not saying that, but they're saying it's not worth investigating. So that is big. So what I just read is connected to what I just said. So good news, right? I did this just for context because um, I got in here on the weekend and I was so excited. And somebody was like, "What are you talking about? What was dismissed? What was not investigated?" Because there's at least like six filings out there. And I was like, "Oh, well, it was the Jane Doe, Chloe Black thing." Um, Not only is lack of proof, his lawyer said before, not only that, but also she ran out of time for the statute of limitations. And also, there's no way to prove that she was even in California when this is happening. So anyway, so you wanna go to HollywoodReporter.com, or you can just like go and watch my last video, or you can go watch. She made a video about this. Yeah, I don't think she did. But you can go watch Cornell Cart's channel and find a video that amazingly she made with Paula Weiss. Paula is the actress from Groupie. So you know what? You know, in law, it's like in life, but especially in court. Like if you lie once, then good luck. Good luck trying to get anybody to believe you. So maybe there's some truths on this file. Maybe, yeah, maybe she did text her 100 times. Maybe she did say, maybe he did say to her to stay naked, whatever. But there's so many lies and so many things that we debunk already, like the movie Groupie was actually a movie, nobody died. Then just from that, like, you know, she doesn't, there is no case and this has been thrown and dismissed. So hopefully this keeps happening and it's not just a few people on YouTube. That's for real. I feel like it's really all the there's channels of like Justice for Men and Johnny's Innocent, which I think Johnny's innocent, and all this like men have um men have uh, been abused, which is true as well, and none of these people are talking about Manson, and I think again is because it's really something way too messed up to talk about, and it's messed up. And I'm gonna talk about it because I've been talking about it for like 5 months. And finally, um, he was out saying something, and I think that is good news. So I know it's tedious to listen to all this, um, but I mean, I'm taking the time to do it. So if you're taking the time to listen, thank you so much. And if you listen to it later, thank you so much. And I'm sorry I can't edit and cut all the unnecessary bullshit because I don't have a software and because I use this computer for work. So I can get in a lot of trouble if I do that. This is okay. It's okay. Totally okay. But I'm not. allowed to just download stuff and just download software and just do a whole edit thing. I know how to do it, but I will have to do it somewhere else. And I don't have enough money to buy another computer just to make minutes and videos because it's being monitored, like my email's being monitored. So I can't really, I can sit here and make a video about anybody and I can just have my children and my computer and whatnot and take videos and take pictures of people, but I cannot really download software. So that's the problem. So that's why it looks crappy and it's gonna keep looking crappy. But if you agree, and I'm sure if you're watching that you do agree, yeah, go check her video on Paula, the actress. She's alive and well, looking gorgeous. She's pretty cool chick, pretty awesome interview. And this makes it look even worse, seriously, for her. And I'm gonna go because it's time to go. And thank you so much. Thank you. Show the view one more time. That looks better than my face. It's all good.